Debbie with Kip's Corner. Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So today I am continuing work on the fairy tale mega huge journal. This is a months long project, and I just kind of pick it up whenever I feel inspired. And when I pick it up, I focus my attention on one of the signatures. So I've got 9 signatures in this journal. I'm done with a few of them. So I'm done with Pinocchio. I'll show you Pinocchio here real quick. Oops. Yep. And these are just papers in the signature. I think I'm done with Pinocchio. Now that I'm flipping through, I think maybe I'm not, actually. I thought I had done more. Anyway, oh no, I'm not. Look, I have pieces ready to go. Okay, so I'm not done with Pinocchio. Sorry, forget I said that. What am I done with? I'm done with Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, here we go. I really, for real, am done with Little Red Riding Hood. And I've got a lot of, as typical with my journals, I like to keep a lot of blank pages to write on. And this is a little envelope here. So these signatures, and then we've got this little cutie. And so I'm trying to put, kind of like this has a tag in it. I won't pull it out yet. About 2 pockets with tucks and things in each of the signatures, and keeping the number of pages in the signatures pretty low, just so that this doesn't end up being a 6-inch journal. It'll be close. This is Rapunzel. I believe I'm done with her. Yeah. I'm not going to pull out the tags, but you can begin to see a little bit of Rapunzel. And what I'm trying to do as I work on each signature, which is in part why I'm just picking them up one at a time, is to prevent myself from repeating the look. I want each signature to be very unique to and related or go with the story. And so here's Beauty and the Beast. I think I'm done with this one as well. There's a tag. Let's see what else is in here. Lots of writing space. There's the cup. There's a tag in there, and just some printing in sepia on the papers. Am I done with Dorothy? Let's see. Wizard of Oz. No, I've got pieces and parts sitting in here. So I'm not done with Dorothy. I'm not done with Pinocchio. I know I'm not done with that one. Let's see. Am I done with this one? Nope, not done with that one either. Goodness gracious. I've got ideas in my head for each one of them. Okay, so the only ones I'm actually done with are Little Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, and Beauty and the Beast. And so and then I'll just come back to these each time. And kind of what I'm trying to do is when I sit down to work on the signature, my idea is to try to finish that signature at the time. And like I said, I'm trying to do, a couple pockets and tags and tucks and things for each one, but not add a ton of paper. So far what I've got here with Cinderella is, of course, the cover is done, or the signature, first page of the signature is done for each one of the signatures. And this is from an old children's storybook that I had, and it's called Cinderella or the Little Glass Slipper. So that's a page from the book that I've trimmed down, and even says here, she danced with the prince. Pretty blue paper, and just some pretty paper in here so far. I have put, here's the back side of that printout from the paper, and I did create a pocket here with the castle, and this pocket, this is a tuck. So this will, it's a pocket. So I'll put a tag or something in there. Okay, and so then the pieces that I still have that I've got ready to work on is another page from that same story. I'm thinking of using this as a tag somehow, perhaps. I've got this gorgeous carriage. This is what took her to the castle for the dance. And then another picture of the castle. These are from the kit. So I may make journaling cards out of those. I don't know yet. And then I've got a slipper. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make the glass slipper a little bit glass. So the way I'm going to do that is with just some clear embossing powder. And I've got a VersaFine marker here. I think it still has some juice in it. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to color the outside of the shoe, the part that would be glass. And so I'm going to try to, and then I'll cut it out. So if I come a little further, you know, if I get a little close to the edge, I should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and go there. Hopefully I will get it completely covered. It's kind of hard to see because it's kind of hard to tell. I'm going to leave the rose without the embossing powder on it. But I'm going to try to get this on everything else. So I'm just kind of scribbling here. And hope, like I said, hopefully this is juicy enough to work. Come back up here and do another coat. This is an older marker, versified marker, so I don't know if it'll be enough. Okay, let's try that and see what happens. So I'm just going to sprinkle this on. Oh, that kind of landed heavy. Okay, now what I want to do is look to see where I missed. And I've missed some right here in the center, but I actually think that might look kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that. Let me just make sure. I'm going to take a dry paintbrush and brush off what's in here. Because I don't want the inside of her shoe. Okay, let's heat that up and see what happens. Get this back in its place. And heat it up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back over, I'm going to go back over this again. And now this time I'm going to try to hit where I missed. And that should give it some nice dimension. Theoretically. Let's see if this works. I'm not going to hit the heel of the shoe because I got it pretty good. So let's try that. Let's see if this works. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so let's heat that up. Let's make sure I don't have any in the shoe. Okay, all right, let's try that. Pretty. Very glass slipper-esque. There we go. So I don't know if you can see that, if that's going to focus. There you go. You can kind of see. Pretty. Okay, now I got to decide what I want to do about the rose. Oh, decisions. And I intentionally did not cut this out beforehand because if I go outside, you know, color outside the line, so to speak, I'll be, oops, wrong one. I'll be able to cut it off. Yeah? That's the idea anyway. Okay, we're going to put a little bit here. Okay, that's right on the rose. And the Vintage Beeswax is a little chunkier, but it does give a yellowish kind of color. But I think it might look cool on that rose, so let's find out. Hold your breath. Ready? Okay. Okay. It looks just like the clear. There's not really much difference there. That's all right. That's okay. Okay, so this, I'm going to let this sit for a minute, and then that will be ready to cut out and use somehow, somewhere. Okay, I'm back. I think I've got this figured out. So I'm going to do something like this with just this touch of pink. This will come off. Some of that will hang off. And the shoe will be on there with that little bit of pink on there. So something like that. And then I'm going to do some sewing. So first thing I want to do is start tacking, let's get this out of the way. Start tacking some of this down. So I'm just going to kind of hold it in place. Lift it up. I want this to come actually just a tiny bit lower. There we go. So I'm going to lift this up and try not to, I'm going to sew, I think, around the outer edge. So I'm not going to get any glue in that outer edge area, but what I want to do is just get this tacked down. So there's the first piece. Whoops. There's the first piece. And then I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to tuck that. I actually like that. It needs to be a little smaller. Let's get rid of this for the moment. And I'm going to rip a little bit of this off. So it's not quite so wide, but I still want it hanging out. And I don't want a lot of this gold paper to show. It's the same, there we go. It's the same gold paper that I used here on the front that I kind of grunged up quite a bit. And I'm going to, actually, you know what? I need to do that. I need to do that. I need a dark, This paper is pretty, let's see if this will stick. I want it to be, this is scorched timber. I want this to be pretty dark around the edge. I did already ink it once with, what did I use? An archival, no, I used a StazOn ink. But I want this to be just a little bit darker. I'm going to come in a little bit more. There we go. Now we're starting to get that. Basically, I wanted to tone down that gold just a little bit. Okay, that should do it. Double whammy on ink. Okay, now, now I want this on there. And I want also, I think it'll hang out a little bit. But not, nope. Let's come over here. Yeah. And then I will cut this off. So I'm going to glue this down. Okay, I've got things tacked down. And now I'm going to do some sewing. I'm going to go all the way around. And then I think I'm going to go all the way around this piece as well. So let me put the lid on my glues and I will be right back. Okay, so I put a few little leaf marks here and down here. Got crooked, that's okay. And then my machine decided to not be happy, and so I just switched to straight stitch. So I'm sure I probably got glue in it, but I'll just change the needle and we should be fine. So I'm going to put that slipper right about there. I like that. Okay, I'm going to glue that on. But before I glue this on, because there's sewing and there's fabric and there's bumblies and all sorts of stuff back here, I'm going to put this on another color. I'm actually going to do the reverse, where so I'm going to see if I can find another piece of this paper and put this behind the tag and glue that. All right, darn the luck anyway. I think that piece of paper that I used was the last, but this isn't bad, but then it's very green. So I'm going to flip through here one more time. This is the pad or the group of stacks that it came from. That one might not be bad. That's pretty. Ooh, that one might work. So this one might work. Let's take that. And here's the other one that I thought might work. So one of those two. And then, of course, the brown might work too. I think that's it. This is like a couple different of these small pads. And that one pad I've had, oh, look, this one might work too. That one pad I've had for a very long time. Okay, here's another one that might work. Okay, let's go back to our page. Any of these I think would be fine. So I'm going to go back to my page here. Now I want to look at them in relationship to the pinks and the golds, knowing that I'm on this page. So I don't care for that one. This one I don't love either. None of these may work. Don't love it. This is a possibility. What do we got here? Nope, don't love that one either. I may not like any of these. That one's not bad. Lots of pink on it. And this is my last choice. That one might be the best one. That might be. I think I might like that one the best. I don't know. It's very different. I take it back. I think I like this one the best. And as I ink these edges, I'm going to probably go a little bit heavier in certain areas. Tone it down just a little bit. Remember, I want the whole thing to be a little bit on the corner. Didn't cut correctly. Let's try that again. There we go. That's better. I want the whole thing to be in, you know, a little bit on the grungy side. So it's hard for me when I get into a piece like this. Cinderella is a very girly, frilly story, and so I want it to have those pretty pinks and blues and things like that. But I also want that grunge in there. So I'm going to tone this down just a little bit through here. I struggle with pink. Okay. Which is why I've had this particular paper pad for so long. All right, that's, oh, I like that. I do. Okay, and that protects the sliding in and out of the pocket. Now is the big question is, which page do I want it on? And I really think I want it on this one. I really like that with the gray background. It pops it out, and you can still write over here. This is still light enough to write on if you wanted to. So I'm going with this. I really do like the way that turned out. That string is a little on the long side, a little out of control. I don't mind it on there. I just don't want it to be quite so much. There we go. There we go. Okay, I do like that. All right, so I'm going to glue this down to goodness gracious. Some kind of intruder. My protector is protecting me. Now I'm just going to glue the paper part here and get lots on where the sewing is. And remember, I'm putting this on this other piece of paper. It adds interest for one thing, but mostly because of all the sewing I got back here. I don't want it to be in the way of, sorry. I don't want it to be in the way of pulling pieces in and out of the pocket. So let's get some up in here. There we go. Get it nice and covered. Kind of hard to put glue on top of this crochet, but it should be fine. Okay, let's try that. I love these. I just keep my eye out for them. These are paper fasteners. Here's what the box looks like, by the way. I don't know if I've ever shown anyone. So these are petite paper fasteners. No string. This one is number 0. They had to correspond to different sizes. And this is what they look like when they arrive. And this is what they look sideways. There you go. And you just slip it on. I'm going to put that right, where am I going to put that? I'm going to put that right there. And you pinch it down. And I usually push it down on the table. Get it straight, sort of, and then push down a little bit further. I just really like the little touch that it adds. I'm going to actually put one more, I think, over here. You gotta be careful of that fabric because it's hanging over. So perhaps this one goes like this. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And it fits right on. They just sort of snap in on. Love them. I usually find them on eBay. Nice. Okay, this is ready to glue down. So before I change my mind on anything, I'm going to hurry up and glue it down. And then it'll be a nice little pocket. It's a little weird. I mean, not weird so much as just different. But it's Cinderella. So the idea here is that the fairy godmother is pulling together some fabrics before she gets her dress ready to go. She's already got the shoes because, you know, if you find those shoes, you want to get, you want to go ahead and get them ordered, right? So she found the shoes. And now she's just trying to decide what she wants for that dress to go with the shoes. I think that's straight. Good enough. Straighten that out. Okay, ta-da! And we have one pocket with the shoe. So I'll put a journaling card in here. So I've got this pocket that I need to make a tag for. And I've got this pocket that I need to make probably a journaling card. And then I might stick a vocabulary card in there, words that go with Cinderella. And then I have this piece to make, which I want this to be very much a collage with some book text behind it. Don't know what else. This I'm not using. So that's Cinderella. More to come on her. And more to come in general on this whole journal, which is turning into be a bit of a monster. But I think it's going to be cool. And I may, once I get all the signatures done, it is absolutely quite possible that I decide to take a couple of them out. Just because of, look at this. Just because of the size. I don't even know what size that is. And I'm not done. But I've also got a lot of stuff tucked in here. You know what? That needs a little tiny bit of lace, I think, on the edge. I put lace on Little Red Riding Hood. There we go. Tiny bit. I think a tiny, tiny bit of lace on the edge of this one would be cute too. Okay. Yeah, so it's possible that I end up splitting these. There's 9 signatures. It would be very easy to do a 4 signature and a 5 signature and split them up. And I am starting to lean in that direction. But I'm not going to make any decisions at all until the signatures are all done. So once they're done, then I'll kind of decide, do 5 of them work really well together and 4 work really well together? And then I split them. I use the cover I've made for one set and then create a new cover, something completely different for the other set. So lots to go on this one. This is definitely a long-term project. Very quickly before I go, I want to let you know that when you're seeing this video, you're probably seeing this, or I'm posting this video, I think on June 11th, and that's a Tuesday. The following day, so tomorrow, which would be June 12th, my sale videos will be coming down. Now, things that did not sell in the video, some of them, will be going into my Etsy shop, but I can tell you right now, things that go into my Etsy shop will be there with at a higher rate because of the fees associated with Etsy. So that's just reality. There's that. I also am getting ready to start a project where I'm going to be using Lorna Taylor from Tailor Made Journals has a series of stamps and paper and stencils with creative expressions, and she has a new set that just came out, and I'm so excited. I'm going to be working on something, and I've got an idea beginning to form, so I'm going to be working on that. I also have the next piece for my butterfly project, the 4th installment of the out of 7, so almost halfway there. Started on the butterfly project, and just as a hint, that is going to be a box that opens up to a butterfly garden. So sort of a vignette piece. What else? Oh, and Crepe on June. Goodness gracious. Let's not forget about Crepe on June. June 20th is my day for Crepe on June. My piece is done. I made a tag for my day, but I also made a special project. So on the 20th, I'm going to be posting 2 videos. One is the day 20 video, and the other is just a bonus project that I kind of played around with and had fun with. And I think that's enough, right? I have another collaboration with a digital kit designer that I'm talking to, so I'm not going to say anything because that's not confirmed yet, but another project that I would be working on after Lorna's journal as well. And then at some point, I need to start deciding what I'm going to do for my July design team project for Tracy. Needless to say, I'm extremely busy. I have a ton going on. And hopefully I'm not overwhelming myself, but I'm just going to take my time. And like this project, for example, is very likely to be like the August or September design team project. It's not any time, it's not going to get done in a couple weeks. So yeah, that's it. I think that's an update on everything that's going on. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back. Bye-bye.